So my wife and I journeyed on the Jewel of the Seas. Let's talk about it. So here we are back again with another video. CAMROD has traveled to the Bahamas once again for a short jaunt on the Jewel of the Sea. As you can probably imagine, after so recently returning from our MSC Yacht Club adventure, we have some thoughts. First of all, to get this out of the way, we had a good time. We were both able to let our hair down and relax a bit. But as you can expect, there were some pros and some cons. So let's get into it. Pros first. Number one. The ride was smooth. Even though there were a lot of storms happening around the world, the ride was smooth. You could barely even tell that the ship was moving. The whole time, like literally. On the way back is a little rocky, but most of the time it was barely. Two, the price was right. My wife caught a deal, jumped on it, so we were able to score a stateroom, which included a living room, a bedroom, a huge balcony, a huge bathroom, a separate vanity, and plenty of storage. Three, there was lots to do. From shows, to shopping, to games, to karaoke, to dining. This cruise didn't lack for activities. They had the usual, basketball courts, gyms, water slides, arcades, and the main dance floor in the middle where most of the parties happen. And they even had a smoky casino with like craps tables and everything. Now I hear their private beach, which is Happy Day Cay or something like that, is nice. But unfortunately, we got diverted due to the storms. So we actually went to Bimini again, which was fine. The food was pretty good at the restaurants. That's number 5. So the star of the show would go to the chef's table. Because for savory, the best thing was their tomato soup. And for sweet, they had this it's called the Around the World. It's a big chocolate ball and they took hot caramel, poured it on it. And it was like cake and ice cream inside. It was awesome. If you get a chance, go to the chef's table and tell Ari that we sent you. 6. Now this could just be the time of year, but the ship didn't feel overcrowded. There was a lot of people on there, but it also felt like there was ample space. 7, the crew, the servers, they were extremely nice and did everything they could to make sure we had a good time. Now, this cruise, we were celebrating my 50th birthday, and we walked into a birthday celebration in our room, including cake and all the festivities you'd expect. 8, the ship looked decent. I mean, you could tell it was recently upgraded, but this also leads me into the cons, because if you look too close, you can tell that this ship is old, which is our first con. Now for the cons, I do need to say that these cons are not to dog the cruise out. We had a great time and I believe you can too, but certain things do have room for improvement. The first one is the finish work. On some of the balconies, if you sit out there long enough, you're gonna start to see cracks. Nothing too worrying, but for me, my eye kept getting drawn away from the beautiful ocean to, the cracks. Don't know why, I guess that's just how I'm built. And seriously, it's not to say that old ships are not good to cruise on. We had a great time and it was affordable. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to feel bad for pointing out the ship was christened back in 2004. I'm gonna stop now. 2, although the tickets were affordable, the upcharges added up pretty fast. The system they use to try and upcharge you, that also can't tell that you actually have what you actually have, so you'll get offered things that you've already purchased. This is even more irritating because you can't look and see exactly what you've already got. It was so many problems with this app. We just like a better user experience with easy ways to see what you're spending. It's important. Also, the app was buggy, from connecting to the internet, to freezing, to not getting updates. The issues ran the gamut. Plus, it didn't answer any of our questions. Everything we needed to know, we had to go to Google and have someone who'd sailed on the ship before to answer our questions. For instance, our room was 1532. The ship only had 13 floors. We asked someone how to get to our room, and he told us go to the front of the ship and go up to the 13th floor. Google explained there is no 13th floor. Our room was on the 10th floor. This may seem pretty petty considering that this is a cruise ship, but the TV channels were lacking as well. If there's no good TV, let us at least use our Netflix account. 5, the buffet food was blocked. There's lots of choices, not much flavor. Now, I'm not trying to say the Jewel of Seas is a bad cruise. Please don't take these cons as me not liking the cruise. It was still fun. Here's some additional cruise tips too, just to close this out. 1, bring cash for the porter. I catch myself with this all the time, not having cash, and I feel bad when they're like, hey, what about us? You know, we're getting your bags for you up to the room. They get gratuities. Make sure you're paying them the gratuities, bring some cash in. Also, understand how the gratuities work, because I was a little confused. My wife ordered a food package, so we had free dining at the restaurants, some of the restaurants, some of them had an upcharge. But when we went in there and we got the bill would say 0, and it would have a place for additional tip. Now, I wasn't sure if the tip was included in the actual meal or the food package, so I always added an extra 10, 20 bucks or whatever to that, just to be on the safe side. I'd rather overpay for gratuity than underpay for gratuity, just because I know these people do work for these gratuities. So keep that in mind when you travel, not just on cruise ships, but anywhere where you're dealing with people who actually get tips. You go out to restaurants and people actually get tips. I know it's annoying to get those tips for everything, and it seems like you're doing things yourself and all that, but some of these people actually live off of that. So we have to be considerate and try and make sure we're helping them out. If we have enough money to travel, we should have enough money to travel graciously and not like the Grinch or Ebenezer Scrooge. You follow me? All right. Well, that's all I have for now, right? This cruise was definitely, you know, it was good. If I had to place it among the 3-4 lines that we've been on now, I would place it Virgin, MSC, Royal, Carnival. Now, my wife would probably flip the MSC and the Royal. We'll see. You know, she's got her own kind of views on it, but that's my views for the 4 that we've been on right now. And next week, we're actually going to one more cruise, Norwegian, because my wife has a birthday. So we'll let you know all about that when we get back. Thank you for taking the time to watch these videos. I really appreciate your support. Please like and subscribe. Again, we're gonna keep coming back and making more videos, not just on cruises, but we also wanna talk about ways to find cheap flights. We also wanna talk about, you know, good tech items to travel with, like the X-Real 1 Pros, or like the Beam Pro. Got a video about that over here. Go ahead and check it out. All right, that's all I got for now. Looking forward to seeing you in the future.